Welcome back, everyone, for a brand new deck tech. I meant to make this video yesterday, but I sorta stayed up all night for the Infinity War trailer. Does that make me a nerd? Was it a stupid idea? Heck no, and if you think otherwise, too bad. Anyways, first things first, I want to say that I didn't make this deck. One of you out there, a subscriber, emailed this list, and I thought it was super spicy and janky and wanted to show it off to you guys. I'm not sure if this person wants me to say who they are, but if you're out there, I just want to let you know I do read my emails. Despite this person sending me this list, I had to make slight adjustments to it and add my own sideboard so that it worked a little bit better. The deck overall, while extremely fun, should just stay in a casual format. It has glaring issues, and we'll get into that later. Before we start the video, make sure to check out our sponsor over at flipsidegaming.com. If you want to purchase this deck or any deck I've made or just any deck or cards in general, make sure to order through Flipside Gaming. If you use my promo code GREAT at checkout, you'll get 10% off purchases over $10. I purchased some cards for my Vampires deck in Modern from them recently, and the cards came in faster than expected and in the condition I ordered them in. Again, that's flipsidegaming.com using my promo code GREAT at checkout. Their website will be linked in the description below. Let's just jump in, starting with the creatures. We're playing 4 copies of Bone Picker, 3 copies of Bantu the Glorified, 3 copies of Captivating Crew, and 2 copies of Yahenni Undying Partisan. As you can see here, all these creatures either benefit from sacrificing things or help induce it. Bantu being the obvious example of both. He sacrifices things while benefiting from it, where he can make himself attack or block while draining your opponent's life while supplanting your own. Oh, and he could get a scry off him, which is also a neat bonus. Yahenni is strictly in here for a free sacrifice outlet. A lot of the sacrificing stuff we need in this deck cost extra mana, and sometimes you're pinched on mana, so I felt like 2 copies of him helped the situation of free sacrificing a little bit. Another pointer on Yahenni is that when you steal something from your opponent, then sacrifice it with Yahenni, he does not get that counter, even though the creature you stole is technically still your opponent's. Okay, we're pretty much dead here, but we might as well show off what this deck is supposed to do. So let's add some mana and activate Captivating Crew to steal Oketra, and then we can't attack with Oketra. What's he? Oh, he's gonna create the token with it. Okay. We can't attack with Oketra, but we can sack it just to be like, ah, we can kill your god. But yeah, it's pretty much over. Depends if he attacks with everybody last turn. He only attacked with Glorybound Initiate last turn, so. Okay, there he goes. We will not attack, just in case. And then we will sack, and there we go. So there's a situation of, I knew this was going to happen, but like, technically it's still his when you steal it. But when you sack it, Yahenni doesn't get the counter, and the thing you stole goes to their graveyard. Just so everybody knows how that works. Oh, and almost forgot to talk about Captivating Crew. Well, a bit costly for stealing stuff because you have to sink a total of 8 mana before you steal a creature with them. It's our only option of repeatable stealing in the deck, so do try to keep them alive. Let's go over the rest of the sacrifice outlets before we go into our steal spells. We're playing 4 copies of Costly Plunder, 4 copies of Fling, 3 copies of Morbid Curiosity, and 2 copies of Hazoret's Favor. Costly Plunder and Fling are our best options of sacrificing in this deck. Both only cost 2 mana, and they serve as card draw, removal, or burn to the face, all at the expense of stolen creatures. Also, their cost is 2 mana, which is really relevant and helps us set up a nice combo with another card we're playing, which we'll talk about later. Morbid Curiosity is nice as well, although it's mostly in here just as another sacrifice outlet. It does have a cool combo with Bone Picker, where for 4 mana, as long as a creature died this turn, you can play Bone Picker and then sack it with Morbid Curiosity and draw 4 cards, which is pretty awesome. As for Hazoret's Favor, it's purely in here for another sack outlet that costs nothing. However, this card is both bad and good. It's good because it increases the power of stolen creatures, and then sacrifices it for no mana expense to yourself. But at the same time, it can't sack anything before combat or during your opponent's turn, which makes this a terrible card to pair up with Bantu the Glorified. However, Hazoret's Favor plus Fling is a pretty nice combo. Now for the spells that steal your opponent's creatures. We're playing 4 copies of Wrangle, 4 copies of Karizev's Expertise, and 1 copy of Hijack. Wrangle and Hijack are self-explanatory. The only thing I can mention is why 4 Wrangles and only 1 Hijack. It's purely because Wrangle costs not only 1 less mana, but 1 less red requirement in its cost. As for Karizev's Expertise, this card is the all-star of the deck, and it has made me want this to play in other mid-range and aggro decks. In this deck, though, it is a card you want at all times. Yes, it gives you the option to not only steal both a creature and vehicle of any size, which already makes it better than Wrangle and Hijack, but it lets you play a card with 2 mana or less for free. And the way the order works is that you steal the creature first, then play your second card for free. This sets up plays where for 3 mana you could steal a creature and then steal another one with Wrangle, or steal a creature and sack it with either Costly Plunder or Flank. This card is what makes and breaks this deck. Alright, so let's just... we're going to lose anyway, which is unfortunate. But let's carry Zev's Winding Constrictor and then Costly Plunder. Are we dead? I don't think we're dead. I think he's a few points off. But yeah, carry Zev's, and then we can Costly Plunder and hopefully draw... it's pretty good when you're getting mana screwed and you're able to play 2 cards. Basically, for 3 mana, we just killed one of his dudes and drew 2 cards. That's pretty good. So, yeah, we'll take what we can get in this situation. We're almost ready for the lands and sideboard. However, we're playing 1 more card. We're playing 4 copies of Duress. This card is vitally important in this deck, maybe even more so than our combo. We're playing 12 creatures in the main board, and we want all of them to live. Duress gets rid of any removal that your opponent may have, or even better, a Planeswalker from their hand. This leads me to the point out that we have a rather hard time dealing with Planeswalkers, especially with an empty board. Land time. Pretty basic. Playsets of both Canyon Slough and Dragon Skull are pretty much auto-includes. They're complemented by just 7 of the each basic mountains and swamps, which is a total of 22 lands. However, with my experience, you may want to bump it up to 23 or maybe even 24 lands, because I did get mana screwed more times than I'd like to admit. Sideboard is interesting, to say the least, and I actually changed the sideboard a bit from the sideboard I used in the gameplays you've seen in these videos and in the gameplays you'll see tomorrow, so just keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be watching those gameplays tomorrow. We're playing Earthshaker Kenras and Dream Stealers, mostly against decks that don't play any creatures like Control. They also serve a purpose in just being recurrable threats we can sacrifice once their usefulness is up. Then we're playing Magma Sprays against aggro and energy decks, and finally some Harsh Scrutinies against decks that run any hexproof creatures like Bristling Hydra or Scarab God or any of those gods that keep coming back to your hand. That's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Before you leave, though, make sure to vote for next video's deck tech. Top right-hand corner, 2 choices for you. Choose which one you want to see next. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to hit that mark by the end of the year. Maybe even 5,000. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for the gameplays with this deck.